Hi, I'm Annie Ulichny, and it's wonderful to be here to share some mindfulness practice and some meditation together. We're going to talk about emotions today, and we're going to do so not in the way you might think. Emotions, what we're learning about emotions it's really interesting. Emotions are very much linked to our breath. Breathing and emotions each have their own patterns that are linked together. So when you have a certain emotion that's present, like right now, you will have a very specific breathing pattern that links with that. And so we can start to come into a greater place of peace and calm and happiness and joy simply by expanding and extending our breath and using certain breathing techniques to help us have this greater depth of expansion of breathing. So breathing is very much a part of meditation because of the overall well-being that breathing offers us mentally, physically, and emotionally. And it's really important to start to pay attention to the breath. We breathe about 20,000 breaths every day, which is a lot. We breathe about 600 million breaths in a lifetime, which is really quite significant, and yet we don't really pay attention to it very often. When we start to pay attention to our breath, we're starting to recognize the impact it has on our life. From an energy perspective, we feel less fatigue, we feel more at peace, more calm, more alert. Our breath can help us feel alert and ready if we pay attention to it. Just like we pay attention to other parts of our life, our breath, our internal body makeup, all of those things need attention to. So we're going to go ahead and do a few specific practices today to help us connect more with our breath, expand the capacity of the breath, and let's have some fun together and give this a try. So these things are things that we try and practice, just like going to the gym and practicing things. They take time. So just try these methods out and explore for yourself. We're going to again have our eyes closed as much as possible. But as I show you the beginning parts of this breathing technique, you can have them open just so we can pay attention as we get started. So the breath, the lungs, really the capacity of the lungs start up here in the upper chest and come all the way down and then all along in the back. And we are very crunched over and slouched over, both at a laptop or on our phones. We've created a new posture for ourselves. And so we've really eliminated the most essential part of our lungs, which is down here, the deeper part. So by having a good posture, we automatically can help to breathe deeper in the lungs. When we use these deep belly breathing techniques, we're expanding our overall capacity of the lung to receive more oxygen in and very quickly disperse it out to the rest of the body. And that's the lower lungs can really do that very quickly for us. So we're going to devote our time to that. So we'll take our hands and place them here on your belly. You might feel your belly button around where your thumbs are. And have your hands here. So you're putting a little bit of pressure on your belly, so you're really connecting the hands with the lower belly. Feeling this connection. Again, we keep our focus right within us. If we notice we're lost in thought, just come back to the body. And just like we've done before in other sessions, we're going to use a deep belly breath technique. And this belly breath technique is going to move your hands in and out. You're really going to feel this connection between the hand and the belly in the lowest part of the belly. This breath coming in and out, filling everything up, well beyond the capacity of where we think our lungs are. We're filling our whole torso up. So we'll breathe in. We can close our eyes, feeling the belly press out against our hands as we breathe in. Filling up, filling with space, with oxygen. You're filling everything up on the inhale and releasing. We're letting go of everything. We're emptying out of everything on the exhale. You can feel your hands pressing back against your belly button, pressing all the air out, everything out on the exhale. These are very deep breaths. Notice that your posture is very upright and dignified in our posture here. Breathing in, filling everything up. You really feel your belly, your lowest part of your belly extending and expanding and pressing against your hands. Feeling this connection of your hands to the belly to really magnify the sensation of how deep this breath is. Exhaling, exhaling, letting everything out on the exhale. The belly button goes back toward the spine. These are very slow, conscious, very focused and aware breaths. Inhaling. You're filling the front part of the torso up and really feeling that pressure of the hands to the belly. Releasing and exhaling. Do one more inhale and exhale. Again, pay attention to your posture, that you're upright and not leaning forward. Emptying everything out on the exhale. So we'll take our hands and place them on our thighs. And just notice how we're feeling right now. Again, when we change our breath, we can change the emotional sensations and feelings that we were experiencing when we started. Perhaps you've noticed some possible shift just with that first round of breath. So we'll take our hands and we'll place them on the back of our lungs. And so we'll take our fingers and kind of have them stretched along the lower part of the rib cage in the back. And feeling your fingers are facing the spine. Your thumbs are involved also along the sides a little bit of your body. And you're going to breathe in, and really the focus here is going to be on the back of the torso, the back body. Filling up. It's a little harder to do than the front. So we'll fill up and really feel this expansion along the back of the body if it's possible. It may take a few times to just start to really feel it. Feeling the lungs expansion, again, noticing the posture, feeling the lungs expansion against your hands along the back of the body. Filling the lungs up along the back. And then emptying out on the exhale, releasing, letting go, inviting a letting go, expelling every bit of air out. again, just breathe in. When we breathe in, noticing that we're feeling some pressure along our hands as the back of the lungs are filling up. The back body is filling up. This takes some practice, but it also expands our capacity, our diaphragm's capacity to fill up and fill with oxygen and have a greater exchange of oxygen and CO2 on the exhale as we fill up and release. And the diaphragm, the capacity of the diaphragm is stretched and expanded in a very healthy way to bring more oxygen in and expel more CO2 out. So this is expanding our capacities. And we're expanding this lowest part of our lungs in order for that transfer of oxygen to spread into our bloodstream and throughout the body. In a most efficient and effective way. We get this part of our lung that doesn't get enough activity, we're opening its capacity to do so. We'll take one more breath in and out. Stay focused in the body, feeling this contact with your hands and the back body. This expansion along the back. And then an emptying out on the exhale. We'll take a regular inhale and exhale, let the body breathe itself, and staying with the breath, feeling any sensations within the body. We'll take our hands again, we'll place them on our lower belly. And you may need to open your eyes just to watch this second technique. This is called a bellows breath. There are many different ways we can perform a bellows breath. And I'd like us to keep this very simple. We'll do 5 bellows breaths in a row. And the whole focus is on the exhale. And the focus is going to be a very short and exerted exhale, and it's going to be through the mouth, and the lips are going to be in kind of a circle O shape. So it will be like this. So all of the energy and effort that we put into this breath is the exhale. The inhale will happen all by itself. So let's try 5 of those breaths, and then we'll go right from 5 breaths into this deep belly breathing that we just practiced before. So let's take 5 bellows breaths. It will be like this. And then come back to the belly. Feeling the belly extend against the hands. So the inhale on that bellows breath, in case I forgot to mention, is through the nose, if that's possible. And then the exhale will be through the mouth. So if it's possible to do this with the eyes closed, let's try that. So we'll do our next 5 bellows breaths. And again, the whole focus is going to be on the exhale, and we're going to press on the exhale. Again, this is expanding our capacity of our lungs to fill with oxygen and exchange this shift in change of CO2. So we'll do 5 bellows breaths. And then come back to the very deep breathing. feeling against your hands, staying fully engaged in the body. Not what we're thinking, but what we're feeling in the body. We could encourage our inner voice to say, filling up, filling up. On the inhale, emptying out on the exhale. It may help to keep us present here as we experience this filling with air and space and emptying out and releasing on the exhale. So we'll do 5 more bellows breaths. And again, if we can keep our eyes closed and breathe in through the nose and out through this circled lips through the mouth. The exertion is on the exhale. Okay, let's do 5 bellows breaths. And then come back to a very deep belly breath. Notice if the mind is wandering. Come back and feel the sensations in the body. Notice if there's tingling, kind of this humming life of the body, you could start to notice. As oxygen, new fresh oxygen is releasing through the system, through the body. New forms of energy shifting from oxygen into energy. We can start to feel this tingling, this little electrical quality. So we'll do 5 more bellows breaths. And if this has become at all uncomfortable for you, if it's too much, then just stick with the deep belly breathing. You do what your body and you know is right for you. If you'd like to continue, we'll do 5 more, and then we'll return to the deep belly breathing. Again, notice your posture. Pay attention to an upright posture because it allows our lungs to have full capacity of the breath coming in and out. These 2 techniques, we've coupled them together, but really the deep, elongated breath is a calming type of a breath. The bellows breath is a type of breath that can help us expand our capacity of the lungs and oxygen coming in to battle any fatigue. It's definitely a very energizing breath. It will bring more wakefulness, more alertness into our day. And the deep belly breathing, where we're placing our hands on our breath and really feeling this, or along your back if you're sitting up, I would really encourage you to use this deep belly breathing if you're laying down to go to sleep. It's very calming and regulating to the whole nervous system, as well as to our emotional states, as I mentioned. And the interesting thing about these breaths, these deep breaths, as well as the bellows breath. When we open up our lungs and breathe deeply, we can change our emotional state. Our emotions can change our breath, but our breath can help change our emotional state. We can become more alert, more engaged, more focused, awake, peaceful, and calm, all at the same time, by trying just some of these very simple but effective breathing techniques. So I encourage you to check in with yourself, your emotional state, and even if you're sitting watching TV, maybe try these breathing techniques. Or if you're in a car taking a drive, notice your posture is upright and taking deep breaths while you're driving. Really can help your overall capacity, your overall sense of well-being and peace and calm. And breathing is really such a wonderful way, taking deeper breaths to help support our emotional, mental, physical well-being in every possible way. So I hope you've enjoyed these techniques and you're able to incorporate them into your day. Thank you so much for your time.